So one Naoki Hamaguchi, director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, director of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, several projects for them moving forward because he's a rock star, came out with an interesting quote yesterday. I think this came from cloudusage.com. They report random video game, PC game stuff, things like that. But he was talking about the Switch 2 port of the game, of Remake, Integrate, all that kind of stuff. He was talking about the legacy of, Final Fantasy VII and staying true to the fans and the project and everything. A lot of things we've talked about here on the channel moving forward with the series and honoring the past. So I'm just going to read this article real quick. Honoring the past, reimagined for today. When revisiting Final Fantasy VII, Hamaguchi said the team's goal wasn't to change everything. Instead, they wanted to respect the original while reworking the parts that couldn't be fully expressed with the technology of 1997. Switch 2's capabilities, yada yada yada. They finally had the tools to show those moments as they had originally envisioned them. He described the Remake series. I'm going to say that is press speak for lack of talking about deeper things. Like, obviously in 1997, you could have had Sephiroth appear as the party is leaving Midgar. Just put his characters in. There are narrative things they have changed. Deep narrative things they have changed. But I still hold to, this is a true remake, not a requel or whatever snarky kind of stuff people have been saying about it. This is just a straight up remake. This is not them changing. The ending is going to be pretty much the same, I believe. So anyway, let's move on. He described the Remake series as a chance to rebuild, not rewrite, what Final Fantasy VII meant to fans. I've seen this quote being kind of misused, and we're going to get into it. The goal was never to discard the original's emotional core and narrative beats. Instead, the team focused on enhancing moments that were limited by older hardware. For example, environments like Midgar can now be fully realized thanks to Switch 2's improved specs, which allowed the team to present key scenes in greater detail and at full performance. He's basically saying, like, they can make more lush, more wide open areas bigger than what they could on PS1. That's not saying the original plan in PlayStation, on the PlayStation 1, was they really wanted Sephiroth to appear at the end and do the whole Soul Tornado thing and all that, but they just didn't have it in the budget, couldn't make the PS1 do it. That's not what they're saying. They're saying they can make these areas huge and make a full explorable world. Now, Hamaguchi made it clear that this version of Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't just about technical improvements, it's also about preserving the impact of the story. He wants longtime fans to feel the same excitement and surprise they did in 1997, and hopes new players can experience the feeling for the first time as well. Okay, so let's get into this. So, a couple things he said were true, and a lot of people are running with this in the wrong way. So, Uncle Ray's here to clear this up for you, okay? This is all media tour speak. He's on a media tour right now. This is all media tour speak. So, what's going on is he described the Remake series as a chance to rebuild, not rewrite. This is a remake. This is not a requel. This is not multiple timelines. There's the alternate reality where the original Final Fantasy VII happened. No. No. I've been saying and telling you all here on the channel. Some of you have listened. Obviously, a lot of you didn't. That's okay. Today's the day. Today's the day, my friend. Today's the day. There are not multiple timelines. There never was. There never was. I told everybody, it's not multiple timelines. It's not time travel and all this other kind of crazy stuff that your favorite hive mind nucleuses, big YouTubers and stuff, were telling you that it was. I was trying to tell you it wasn't. I know storytelling. I know narrative beats. I know what to look for. And a lot of you do too. A lot of you do too. And this is not me gloating or anything like that. This is just me trying to calm the infighting in the community about this. This is a straight up remake, or as he says, a rebuild of the original. They're adding stuff. They've had notes. They've had piles of notes that they want to go back and reinstall since they made the original game. This has been known for a long time. They've had ideas. That's what Crisis Core came from. They've had all these ideas and things they want to experiment with and sample with, and Remake is just that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's just what it is. And he's confirming it. People are going to read into this what they want to. Oh, he's talking about rebuilding the area. No, he kind of is, but he's also talking about keeping the narrative beats. You can't change things and add time travel and timelines and all this kind of stuff without changing narrative beats. So he's confirming it right here. I said midway, well, about a year before Rebirth came out, I came on this channel and I said, look, all theories out the window. That's why I stopped theory crafting, right? That's why I stopped theory crafting, because I was like, it's just a remake. Sephiroth is trying to summon Meteor. There's no use theory crafting on that. We could theory craft about what's going on with the other characters and stuff in the story. They've changed Sid somewhat. They've changed some characters and what they're doing somewhat, but the main narrative of the story is the same. And because they're injecting those notes and those afterthoughts they had after the game, and to inject some of those afterthoughts, you have to change little nuanced things with the characters and stuff, such as some of the changes they made with Vincent. It doesn't change Sephiroth trying to summon a meteor to the planet to destroy it. It doesn't change Aerith dying, but now her role can continue in some way. And one of the things he's talking about, I think, limited by old hardware. I don't think it's the hardware issue. I think it was the delivery time issue and the budget issue. So maybe they wanted to add more stuff with Aerith. There is that one shot in the church and the kids are there and her ghost is there and she stands up and she disappears. That could be a nod to they wanted to use Aerith more in the story. And then she pops up again at the end, which we've always speculated. What is this? What is that? What does it mean? So I think one of the things he's talking about here is just the time crunch, because they were on a major time crunch to get this game out in '97 when they did, and budget. So those things are very limiting when you're making a big project like this. I love that he came out and said that. I love that and it was just a random throwaway switch to promotion for Remake. It wasn't him talking about the third game coming out. It wasn't anything like that. But here's the thing I like about Hamaguchi. He knows how to talk to the press. This guy knows how to drop little nuggets. And this is why I say Hamaguchi understands the fan base, because he knows anything that comes out for Final Fantasy VII Remake Saga is going to get grabbed by fans on the internet and picked apart. So he doesn't have to be on a press tour talking about Remake 3. He doesn't even have to mention Remake 3 to drop us little nuggets about Remake 3. This guy is savvy, and that's why I've been telling you all since they announced he was directing Rebirth. I looked a little bit into his stuff. I was like, this guy's going to be a rock star. He knows how to talk to the press. Oh, I saw them at Otakon in 2024 in Washington, D.C. I was there, boom, right up front. This guy, when he was talking, he was so comfortable. He's not like a lot of he's not like Nomura, he's not like Katase, who's a little uptight, Nomura's a little shy, Katase's a little uptight. This guy is a rock star. He was born to be in front of the microphone. He is great with the crowd. He knows how to talk to people. This is a front man for Square Enix moving forward. Remake is a remake. Is a remake is a remake. You can do with this knowledge what you want. You can continue to argue it online. The facts are the facts. It is not... It's a requel, sir. It's a requel. We have coined this term. No, requel is not a thing. Stop making shit up. You sound like an idiot. It is not a requel. It's a rebuild. Like he said, rebuild is a great way to say it. It's a rebuild of the original game. They're installing parts that they wanted to install before. Now you could argue, well, they're installing multiple timelines. They're installing time. No, they're not. That is a narrative crashing. That is the rules of this world that they've created would destroy the rules of that world, thus destroying the narrative. That's how storytelling works. If you don't adhere to the rules of your world, you can inject new things from time to time, but for like a long-running series. Like if One Piece were to introduce, or Bleach or something were to introduce like some kind of like huge new rule, that would be one thing. This is a condensed, at most this would be 3 books, right? It's a smaller sample size story. You can't inject narrative crushing concepts like that into a smaller story. It doesn't work. You don't have firm ground to stand on. But wouldn't it be cool? That's what's wrong with storytelling these days. it doesn't need to be, everything about it doesn't need to be whoa or shock factor or cool. You just tell a great story. Final Fantasy VII is the greatest story that company's ever told. Final Fantasy Tactics is the best writing that company's ever done. People say I contradict myself. Final Fantasy VII is the greatest story ever told in a video game. Final Fantasy Tactics is the best written story ever told in a game. Square Enix has two of the best, most prolific narratives ever put out in a video game. So let me clarify that real quick. So this is interesting. I love that he came out and said this, but what are your thoughts? Man, I'm preparing the hazmat suit to go into the to go into the chat to look up this discussion online. Just walking into the decompression chamber before I go in with my big rubber suit. Yeah, so yeah, confirmed. When people were sending me this article, they, like 3 of you, shout out to Richard, shout out to Rick Hunter, shout out to, I think it was Angelica. They hit me up. They just put a W with the attached article. W attached article. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It feels good when that goes noticed because I am a small tuber. I am not the nucleus of your hive minds. Your hive minds are misleading you. Y'all need to come here and get some information. Y'all need to come here and get some education. Alright? That's all I'm going to say. Throw a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Do all the stuff. Uncle Ray's got your back. It's okay. You were miseducated. You were misled. You were misled for clicks. That's okay. That's okay. Come here. I will show you the way. Come on over. Come on over. It's fine. We have a good time over here. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. I'll see you all later on today.